you guys want to give some feedback, you can scan the QR code and you can give us some feedback. And if you guys want to support us, you can. Oh, just one more.
Yeah, we'll stay on the side. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, so this is the YouTube, this is the Instagram, and if you want to support the Patreon, we have Patreon as well.
Oh God!
So yeah.
Sorry. Take a picture.
Yes. Yeah, please. That's
Oh,
the guy you saw.
Yeah, he's the
Here for now. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming as well. Really appreciate it, for all your support, for taking your time out as well. It's a good 50 minutes. If there's any questions, anything or any feedbacks, anything we can do better as well, this is much appreciated as well. Yes, Timo, I can see you there.
Okay, yeah. Good evening. It was such a pleasure to be here. My name is Timo. Rizwan is my friend at first. Then I met her. So I have two friends amongst the cast and crew. And it's really relieving for me, interesting to view them on screen. Yes, so I just want to know, I got here late, apologies for that. What inspired this film?
This film, I'd say the way Hong Kong is, I feel like it's very busy and money oriented. So because of that, the lifestyle, it makes people very isolated. So because of that, I wanted to see if I can make a film that it shows that kind of life. And yeah, I don't really have much to say at the moment, but if you guys want to say something.
I think like what I like about this is like we're like non-Chinese and we want to do something about creative things also about art. So I wanted to work together because like we're like all passionate about this, but then we're also learning from our mistakes and trying to improve. So I think I know that there are other people also making films, but it's also like one of my first times to do as a cast. So I was a bit nervous before. Coming together, yeah, the non-Chinese people of HK. That's how I see it.
Oh, awesome. Great idea, guys. I would just like to suggest that. Okay, yeah. Just a suggestion because, like you said, so many persons are making films, so it's a competitive field. You know, everyone is making films. People make contents on Instagram and all of that. So it might be intelligent to tie your passion to social issues. There are so many social issues out there. Like you mentioned now, there's isolation in Hong Kong. Though probably that may not sound pronounced enough, because it may seem normal, but probably if we tie to issues that come from isolation, should it be probably high suicide rates or crime that happens as a result of isolation and all that. If you tie your passion to that, then support comes easily. People, governments, NGOs will be willing to support, and then you'll find out that your passion is also solving the problem in society.
Hopefully next one.
Yeah, thank you, Timo. Like the vital points as well, because to add on as well, we mentioned quite a few elements that, yeah, since it's a very expensive city, Hong Kong, as we all know, there's lots of debt issues, so which was played by Zed right here. So there's lots of debt issues that people go through here as young people as well to make it into whatever careers we want to. So we just want to portray that how we want to how the struggles are to make it into the city, not just like an actor, but like into anything else in life. So we were trying to portray.
One question: why do you choose to show a writer compared to like a painter or like something more visual? Because myself, I'm trying to write about a writer. It's very difficult to illustrate like a writer, right? Because just writing some sentence. But a painter or like a musician would be, so why do you choose a writer?
Yeah, good question. I personally really like writing, but if it's painter or like something visual, I feel like it's a little too similar to wanted to do something a little different. And I also personally wrote quite a lot before, so I wanted to portray something like that. Yeah, I felt like I could relate to that.
Nice.
Yes, please.
This is more of a technical question. Just out of curiosity, how long did it take for you to shoot everything? Was it like a continuous schedule or was it spread out?
It was spread out. I think we shot for around 2 months, and but over the course of like 8-9 days.
Did you ever run into any continuity issues or everything?
Yeah, there were continuity issues. Yeah.
But I mean, the way you put everything together looks pretty seamless. So good job.
Yeah, there's one scene on the mountain, like the fog. Is that by chance?
Yeah.
Obviously.
By chance.
I was like, wow.
Credits to Soho. So he brought us to the place in Tinwood where. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, yes, please.
For the songs, why do you specifically choose them? Was it a way of foreshadowing or something symbolic?
Oh, you mean the Vivaldi?
I noticed that in the movie there were specific songs that you chose, and I was curious whether or not they were to portray something symbolic or if it was just because you wanted it to sound nice.
Well, it's definitely symbolic and emotional. The classical music is because we want to portray the people that they want to be in the nature, right? They don't want to be too much involved in the technology. So the best way to do that is through classical music instead of electronic. So that's kind of the idea. Yes.
Yeah, I noticed in some scenes you use like different aspect ratios. Can you comment on your decision to use different aspect ratios? Like, what do they symbolize?
The 16:9, the wide one, is the main story, and the box one is, the story within the story. So, it's kind of yes.
Maybe yeah, hi everyone, my name is Ramya. It's such a pleasure to see this. And I remember this specific short has gotten an award. So do you want to explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, we did submit to an award, like a festival, and we did win the feature film award. But it was before all the sound and everything was done. So yeah, that was like several months ago.
Is there any more questions?
Yeah, or any like improvements we could have done, or just to carry it on forward.
I do have a question. Now, what does Woodhouse mean in each respective story? Because we saw 3 stories, right? One, he wants to be a writer. He already was a writer, but then he copied it. So what's the element of Woodhouse? How does it showcase? And what's the meaning of the name? Like, how do you think of that?
So, what the theme of the movie is about nature. So, the girl wants to live in a wood house because that's more nature. So that's why we came up with that kind of name, and it's also very short, and it's a little different from the common times. And also there was a movie that came out was called like Roadhouse, and I really like that title, so I was like, okay, what if we put Woodhouse? Yeah, so that's kind of the idea.
It was an interesting theme to see, like, how everyone's involved with nature, but 3 different stories. So that's really.
Yes.
We haven't heard anything from the cast. How did you guys feel making the movie? What was the process? Were you guys involved in the storytelling? Like, I know that this is a very sort of niche, right? Like independent movie making. And, I'd love to hear from Rizwan about the sort of support or the struggles that you went through throughout, like just the process of making this movie.
Maybe the cast can answer first. What's answer?
Well, with the house, Rizwan has been making it for like around 6-7 months. We did quite a good step in actually bringing it together. It was written at that a lot of places where we did different sorts of shooting, and we had quite an experience with it because it was a indie project where everyone was passionate about how to bring it together, and everyone had their own perspective on how Woodhouse meets them. And initially, he did a very good job in making the actors understand on what this subject is about and how we are going to put it together as a crew, and how everyone's going to bring their own elements to the script. And he did a good job in that. And making a 55-minute film as an indie filmmaker is a really hard job, and I think Ridwan did a great job in putting that out.
The process, I'd say we did originally wanted to make a longer film, but just because of the logistics, the scheduling, and the amount of people that are involved, we decided to cut it down to just 45 minutes. And then I felt that it's easier to make a good film in that sort of way, rather than making a 90-minute film and there's going to be less quality. So we thought, okay, we'll stick to 45. And,
Yeah, just to add on as well, like as Azeed mentioned that regarding how Rizwan was like really contemplating on our behaviors and how we were scheduling, and just to be like on point with every scene, and no matter how many mistakes we make. I think this was such a learning point overall. Just to go back to the question as well, I think patience. That's what I really learned from Rizwan over here. That really, no matter how many tries it took, it's the first time experience for me, for myself as well. I've never gotten into acting. It was always pictures, as my Instagram has always done. But he's gotten me into an exceptional value here, into acting, and just to try it out basically, and just learn from it. So thank you. Thanks to the cast who supported me as well on this for this first experience.
I'd like to elaborate on what Ahad just said, because I think we're all coming together like almost like the first time for some of us. So we're all like more hands-on, and it's more collaborative. The ideas is his, so I'm like, okay, I'll just follow what the director is telling me, but then where I can offer something like my house, or like somebody else can offer something else, we're like trying our best to put it together.
Yes, Roy.
Yeah, what were some of the biggest challenges that you guys faced when making this film?
The biggest challenges was, one of the main challenges was definitely, I did most of the stuff myself. I should have asked a little more assistance. I think that's the main thing. Whether it's for the logistics, whether it's for mainly the logistics was really hard. It's like easy to forget some stuff. So on the day we might be like struggling. So those kinds of things were really difficult. And also the sound mix was like the first time I worked with a sound mixer at that level. So it was definitely difficult to like go do the back and forth, because usually I just do all the sound in the editing by myself, and I just have to, whatever I think I just put it. But when working with a sound mixer, you gotta go back and forth with all the comments. So yeah, that was tough, but we just did it.
And emotions as well. I needed to control emotions. when to be happy, when to be sad, and romanticism. So there was intimacy, and there was lots of elements that I needed to change upon myself, and along with the script. So it was everything that was all coming at me at once. So I needed to adapt to it, improvise, and just to get better at it. So it took tries and tries, like I mentioned before. Learn from it.
Salman, do you want to say?
Well, honestly, I'm just happy to be here. For the experience, so thank you so much, everyone. I'm just happy to be here, man.
So what's the next step for you guys? Are we seeing you in more films? Are you in collaboration with other filmmakers and all that?
For sure.
Would love to.
Yeah, now we're more united than ever.
Yes, Catherine.
Just wanted to say you guys did a great improvement on BGM and the sound effects. I see it. That bus seat, man. I remember that out there, Yeah, you guys did a great job. Also, the person who made the little small wooden house.
Yeah, she made the
Yeah.
tree woodhouse.
Pleasure working with you, there is one. Yes.
What do you guys plan to do with the film after, like after this screening?
We'll see if we can do some more screenings if some people want to help us organize it. If someone wants to help us organize it, we'll do message me and we can work through it. And I'm going to upload it on YouTube on 26th October. So if you guys want to watch the film again, definitely you can watch it on 26th October. So yeah. Yes, did someone want to ask a question?
So when you were picking the story, the scenes for story within the story and the story outside, how did you pick which scenes should be shown inside the story and the ones shown outside?
It was a very organic process. It didn't like, oh, we gotta exactly show this and that. It's more like if one dialogue ends here, then the next dialogue kind of relates to the next scene. Like that was kind of the idea. So even though it's a separate story, there's some kind of a transition going. So that's kind of my idea for that. So yeah. Yes, Alex.
For you guys playing the same character, what was the approach, or what was the process that you guys went into showing this man's life in different moments of his life? What was your approach? What was your process?
Sorry, us or?
Yeah. You guys are playing the same character, right?
Okay, I think I could just begin with, to begin the whole process that I want to make it in life by being a writer. I was a naive person. Well, this is why I thought that as soon as that I'm trying to get into the process of making it into as a writer, which one of our cast members is not here at the moment. He is a really powerful businessman, and he's trying to get me into some sort of manipulative situation. So he's a manipulator, and I'm just going to get into his words and just like basically, just do whatever he basically tells me to say. And so I was pretty much playing it as a naive kid to break it down.
What about you, the older version of the?
So I'm a writer who I was in jail before for I think 6 months. So I came out and then I met her. So I'm basically just a writer. Yeah. And then Z steals my story and then she publishes it, and then things get messed up and everything.
Yeah, basically what it is to point out is that there are two people, the same people, who are in different point in their life. So he is naive, but the other character who's with me on that point of time. So I sort of play much more. For example, my counterpart in the story is Kunal, and we both play a similar sort of characters, but instead of just copying our mannerisms, we just sort of maintained the same motive. What sort of personality, what is our gain in this situation? And then we played people where he is happy when I have been through his phase, so I would have been having more experience than in a different phase in life. So this is what we try to carry on in stories. Instead of replicating or doing the same person again, we sort of play different versions where we are, like how you say you mentioned that you are naive, but your counterpart in the story would be more an elaborate version, a person who has been through this, a person who has been cheated, who wouldn't want to be cheated the second time. So he's more careful. So he plays a more careful version. He plays a version who wants to take what he had lost. And the first person is someone whose dreams and passions. And the second version is someone whose dreams and passions are being slowly deteriorated and getting done. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because it's the balance of it's the balance of like making it as a writer and along with relationships. So it's different situations of relationships as well. So this is what we've tried to get out of each and every character.
So I think this one's motive in the story was to showcase two different versions and two people in two different stages of their life going through the same single line of single line in their motive and what they are going through. It's not both of them running parallelly, but it's just a single line. And that's what we all want to do. Intended to showcase in the story.
Thank you.
Yeah, and yes.
you should continue first?
Oh, yeah, basically, someone asked why I told this story. Actually, I've dealt with people like William, the Kunal's character, before. So that's why, that's kind of the traumatic experience. So because of that, I wanted to tell this story. Yeah, that's one of the main.
More drugs involved.
Oh yeah, not exactly drugs. just the manipulation.
So mean.
Well, that powder was a baby powder, by the way, which is on
Thanks for that.
So it's
Yes.
So, I actually had a question for the cast. You said that a lot of you were like doing it for the first time. So how do you guys prepare? Because you have a script, Rizwan did a great job in explaining the script to you. But when you go back home and also when you jump in with your daily life, how did you prepare?
I think yeah, it's tough because we have like our own jobs and everything happening, but at the same time you shift. Okay, I'm an actor now. I need to like shift as an artist, but then I also feel like, oh, am I there yet? You know, and I think at first Rizwan did a great job explaining in the very initial phase, like when he did the trailers. Like I knew what was happening, but I was not able to put it together. So I was like, okay, I'll just trust my director with the storyline, but I'll work on my part as an actor. And we had rehearsals. I'm not great with dates, so I don't know. Like the period was probably like a month or two. Me and Suleiman rehearsed our own parts, and I didn't really work a lot with Ahad or Serena because I think it's like two kind of like different characters completely. Although me and Serena are like essentially the same people or the same characters. So yeah, like I took it with my own approach, or maybe I should input it like this. I had to shift like job. Okay, now it's here. Now I'm like doing another thing. So yeah, that shift, which I'm learning to balance as well. Thank you for the question.
But did you do anything special to prep for your roles? Like all of you guys had such different roles.
Well, memorization. That was a key role. But obviously, when it's time to like Rizwan mentioned that it's not supposed to be that perfect wordings or perfect scenes. Perfect like how would I say expressions at that moment. So we just improvised it in our own way and just kept the same keywords in the script. So that's how we came and approached it.
I think sometimes I would listen to some music according to the mood, and just go start my day like that.
Okay, actually, we'll end the Q&A for now, but we can have the unofficial Q&A at the bar.
And please everyone buy some drinks to support this one. If you put a lot of time and effort into the screening, so you could get some drinks there, and it would also go into coming cost of the screening, and also yeah, you can ask questions and stay there as well. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.